League, first of all, before we get looking at your next game, finally the deal's been done for Conor O'Riordan. It was inevitable, I should imagine, once it was all signed and sealed with the finances, that he would move on to a championship club. Your thoughts on his progress and what he's done for this football club?
Yeah, his progress has been fantastic. The loan move did him really well. I know he got into the team towards the back end in League One, which again set him up really well for that loan move. I think I've said it before, it's possibly the best loan move I've known a Crewe player to have. It ticked a lot of boxes. He came back, didn't he, the January, and just kicked on from there. What I would say is there's been a lot of speculation from early December. He's been immaculate. His professionalism. A lot of players could go the other way. People getting in people's ears, and he's just got his head down and contributed massively to a successful period we've had. But delighted for him. Obviously we didn't want him to leave on a football front, but when an opportunity comes up like it has, to go to a big club in the Championship which play young players, he's got to take it.
You've seen a lot of players over the many years move away from becoming an academy player to a first team player here into the higher echelons of the English football situation. Is he another one that you're going to keep your eye on, expect him to go to the top?
I do. Yeah, there was a lot of conversation around that, where we feel he could end up. But he's got to, establish himself at Blackburn, get himself in the team, just keep on working hard, improve on the physical side of the game in terms of the speed and power, because he's young still, and I think he could go a long way. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him getting an international call up pretty soon, but he's a credit to work with, Conor. The main thing he has is his temperament, wanting to do well, never flustered in games, and I think that'll take him a long way, and the obvious is his football attributes.
The other side of it as well is it's showing once again to the younger players that you bring into this football club from the very early age that pathway is still there if you produce the goods to go and get a move like Conor O'Riordan.
Yeah, a lot. We have so many scouts at our games, and obviously watching opposition as well. But we have so many scouts coming out to our games. They're always on a platform and always in the shop window. In that sense, I think it shows to younger players as well that we want to attract to the club. The 20-year-olds. What we can do for them to help them progress in their career. But no, for all the academy, the young lads that he's grown up with, should be some motivation. But I always say it, the motivation should be to get in Crewe's team and establish yourself and do as well as you can for the football club. It's
a big loss for your squad, there's no doubt about that, but you have to carry on. And I suppose one thing that you aren't too bad off with is you're well stocked up for central defenders and other defenders. Yeah,
we've got cover in that area. We'll have a look at it as well to see if there's anything we might do. But you lose somebody, and it's the opportunity, like it has been when people have been injured, for someone to come in and stake a claim in the team. So from our side of it, it's just crack on as normal, head down. We've obviously lost a good player and a good character, but we'll just crack on as normal.
Talk a bit more about how the January window is progressing for you a little bit later on, but you've had a bit of a disruptive week in terms of losing out on the game in midweek. Does that cause you problems?
No, I think it was the right call. Looking at the weather, the further north you went, it wasn't great, was it? So I think it was the right call. We got the players in at 3 o'clock to train, and they were excellent, so we could keep our week the best we could in terms of routine, and the players responded to that, and they were excellent in training. So no, it's not disrupted us really. If anything, it's just given one or two a little bit of a rest that have been churning out the minutes.
Just have an update then on how the treatment room is going. You've got one or two getting closer to being with you in the squad. What's the latest at the moment?
Yeah, well, Zach Williams will rejoin the group for full training, which is great to have. So we'll see where he's at in terms of Saturday, to be selected or not. Joel Taberner is about 3 weeks away now, which is good. He's pain-free in his ankle, so they'll do a hard session today in terms of trying to get to that area where he's had some pain, and then we'll crack on from there. Charlie Finney is way ahead of schedule. He's had some rest days, just had a bit of pain obviously from the operation, but The signs are that went really well, the operation, so he'll be out on the grass I think the back end of this week, and then some part of training, not with us but with the sports science, the following week, to look to be introduced the week after. Owen Lunt is still struggling with his back. He's getting a bit of pain in his back, so we'll just have to be patient with Owen. We don't want to rush him back. He's obviously going through a growth, so we'll just look after him in that sense. And Jack Powell, obviously it's going to be a long road for Jack, isn't it? But they've upped his stretching, etc., try to get some more movement in the knee, and that's going along nicely.
Well, let's round up that January transfer window. We're in the middle of it now. You've added 2 midfield players already to your squad. Anything else developing?
We're looking. We were speaking yesterday. We're always on the lookout. Conscious of just getting players in for the sake of it. When all the squads fit. So we are looking at it. Obviously, centre half is something that is cropped up in the last 24 hours. Everyone seemed to know, agent-wise, in terms of Conor was moving yesterday, so the phone was red hot yesterday. And again, we're hopeful on a couple of things. We're waiting on a decision from a club with a player, which we'll find out after Monday. So we'll see where that takes us. But no, we're in a good position for when we do need to strike.
Well, let's look ahead then to the weekend that's coming up. You've got a lot of positive stats around your team at the moment, not more so than you've had 4 straight wins and looking for 5 on the spin. I think it's since 1995, over 50 odd goals and right in the mix for that promotion places. You've got to keep your feet firmly on the ground, but it's a great feeling, I would think, around the football club. Yeah,
winning obviously breeds confidence, doesn't it? But the only stat that will count on Saturday is the stat from the game, not the previous stats. That's football. Obviously breeds confidence and belief within the group and the players and the staff, but we want the stats to be in our favour again on Saturday, and it's going to be an extremely tough game, really tough game. They're a good team, good players. I've been in that situation myself as a player when you've got a good group of players together and it's something just not quite falling right. Carl's gone in, really stamped his mark on the team in terms of how they're playing and how they feel they can get success and get points on the board. I'm assuming the aim is to get them on the board as quickly as possible. So we're going to have to be right at it and not relying on, like you said, past performances, stats, to just think it can get us through the game.
There's one player that's a real danger, isn't there? He knows his way around in the Football League, is in Matt Smith. He's right up there with the top goal scorers in the division as well, so you've got to be aware of him. Yeah, we have. His aerial threat, and not just his aerial threat, but we're being able to bring others in into the game, whether he's bringing that down and bringing the midfield players, wide players into the game. But they do have threats all over the all over the pitch in terms of their wide players, midfield players running on. Like I say, they've got really good individuals in their team. I think one of them's been linked to a team top end of the league, so they've got real good players. So it's not just Matt, is it? We've got to be conscious of what's going on around him and the individual skill, particularly that the wingers bring to the game. The result at the first meeting went against you, and there was 1 or 2 decisions that went really against you as well. Is that an extra motivation for your players?
Yeah, I would hope so. It's a motivation for me, and it's something that doesn't sit right with me. The decisions, it wasn't Salford, was it? It was the referees that made them decisions. I've spoke to referees twice since I've been doing this, and the second time I spoke to him, I got told that situation got used as some type of CPD for what not to do for referees, and we didn't even know that. We didn't even get a phone call that we messed up, all that type of stuff. The referee actually got promoted to do a League One game or a Cup game with League One teams in it. So it still doesn't sit right with me, because when you perform as well as you did away from home to go 2-1 up and then you end up losing the game in the manner we did, really frustrating. But that wasn't Salford's players doing that was the officials. But yeah, we feel aggrieved for what went on there, and I'm sure the players do.